There is a very significant decline in mental health occurring in Generation Z. And the focal point of this discussion is to analyze the factors that contribute to this decline. The purpose and motivation for discussing this topic is to spread awareness and continue the effort to end the stigmatization that surrounds mental health. Mental health has proven to be an incredibly prevalent issue within Gen Z. Studies show that almost half of Gen Z, which is around 42%, have been diagnosed with some kind of mental condition. There was a 2023 Gallup survey that asked questions based on a wide range of criteria and varying age ranges within the Gen Z timeframe. This survey found that almost half of Gen Zers, around 47%, ages 12 to 26, often or always feel anxious, and more than 1 in 5, being 22%, often or always feel depressed, which raises the question, why is this epidemic impacting today's youth to such a high degree? In order to answer this question, we must also take a look at previous generations. Previous experiences and research will help in the understanding of Gen Z's resulting struggles. Psychological research throughout history has proven that the conditions in which one is raised significantly impact the development and character in which one grows to have in adulthood. When taking this into consideration, this plays a role in the juxtaposition or comparison of the different struggles experienced by the younger and older generations. Each generation has experienced their own tragedies, which had an impact on the way they turned out in adulthood. Baby boomers experienced 3 different recessions and war drafting. Gen X experienced economic dips and had to go through the difficult struggles of 9/11. Gen Y, which would be millennials, experienced the Great Recession and the effects that were left following 9/11. Gen Z experienced the Great Recession, the rise of technology, and COVID-19. A large influence on Another large influence on Gen Z has been COVID-19. Gen Z has had to endure a pandemic that changed the education system completely and made the economy tank into an economic crisis that has wiped out millions of jobs just as some of Gen Z was beginning to enter the workforce. Additionally, there's also the grief of losing loved ones to something so horrible. Things like these leave a mark. Studies have shown that Gen Z's competencies, skills, and educational or career goals have been directly impacted by the virus. The pandemic spread uncertainty and anxiety, which impacted Gen Z's view of the future and their capabilities, which in turn has had an effect on attendance or performance in school or work. It has fundamentally changed the way Gen Z views and approaches the world, which, depending on opinion, can be a good or bad thing. Aside from having to face a pandemic, Gen Z has also been plagued with a prevalent epidemic, being suicide. Suicide rates within Gen Z have spiked significantly. The Annie E. Case Foundation found that suicide was the 3rd leading cause of death in Gen Z overall in 2022. Data has shown the rates in which suicidality occurs vary by demographic factors. In America, there already exists a struggle for people to access mental health care, and it has been proven to be even more difficult for people of color. However, this is also applicable to members of the LGBTQ community. The problem isn't a lack of desire, it's a lack of accessibility. Sadly, healthcare in America isn't always the easiest to obtain. Accessibility has and will likely remain a problem for the foreseeable future in the US. To conclude, Gen Z has experienced horrible economic situations, social struggles, historical events, the birth of technology, and more, which led to poor mental health. It is no surprise Gen Z was dubbed the nickname the anxious generation. There is a lot to unpack when it comes to younger generations. what younger generations have and will experience. It will inevitably impact the way society thinks, and considering the reasons why this is of great significance. Do record them again.